of what has happened there in Lauderdale. You know, going from some of the oldest members there in the black community right on through. And that could be very exciting and sociologically significant work. The second thing to do is the possible use, and I'm not certain how this would work out, so don't call me about it, possible use of what we call participatory GIS, where you actually go in and zero in on a landmass, and then you talk to the people about how they best see that land being treated and used. So I think there's some very exciting possibilities with the students.
I'm told that we're going to have 3 brief minutes, and I see that there are 2 other people at the mic.
I'm just going to give you one comment on this. Both of these things, I think, are things that are feasible, right? I think it would be fantastic to do an oral history of the Glades area, but I need your help in getting me in touch with the right people, because for us, going in that community is very different. Right. But, so if you commit to helping me getting in touch with the right people, we'll go in there and do the things. Same thing with participatory GIS. We can do that stuff, but on our turn, we need your help with that too.
I just want to say I agree 100% that academia can be used in a way to help social movements and environmental justice movements, in the sense that both students and professors can do the dirty work of looking up the legal information, studying the geographic information of where contamination is, doing the sociological and anthropological studies with the community. I'm a student at New College in Florida, and I'm currently working with the Farm Worker Association of Florida to try to organize an environmental justice movement around around Lake Apopka, which is very similar to what we're talking about today. And I would love to talk with you, Jermaine and Cynthia, and get some of your advice and input as to things that the community I'm working with could start to do to mobilize. So, yeah, thank you.
Well, actually, I was going to make the suggestion of an oral history and then this GIS idea as well. I think it's all very important to do. After that study is done, though, I think it's critical that it is then put into a report or a video log or something, and then it's mandatory for planners within CERP to read or watch or inform themselves, so that this academic exercise isn't just an exercise, it's an actual document that informs.
Thank you. Excellent point. Excellent point. One more. Fantastic. Last more treats.
Just really quick, I know that you all talk about some great federal leadership, and I know that many of you probably already know about the work from our Green Jobs Czar, coming out of California, having history in environmental justice issues and social justice issues, Van Jones. And I think that he's a great resource, and he's another one to strike while the iron is hot. He's the advisor on the Council for Environmental Quality, and I can see a lot of funding mechanisms coming available to you. But again, what you've all said is, make your voice heard. If they don't know that you need support in these areas, and what better way for self-determination than to provide communities that are not only, jobs that are desperately needed, but that improve the environment.
Yes.
And so I think that that's another great resource that you have to put on the checklist to say, hey, we want green jobs, we want to lift up our community, and we want to do it in the right way, and we need help to do that. I think Mr. James gave the palm. I think that was great. I really appreciated what you said about, I wrote it down because I liked it. It's not just about activity, it's about dialogue, communication, and input. And when you add that to the palm, to the need, I think it's very full circle, and I think this is a very dynamic affiliation, and I'm glad that it came. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. That's such a perfect wrap. It must have been planted. I love it. Thank you. So at this hour, the conference convener is now going to come and take us through our closing. And as he approaches, I'd just like to say, Al, our respect, our gratitude, our appreciation is boundless for all you've contributed, and particularly in this instance, for how you've helped to bring this together. Thank you.
Hotel. That's a little inside thing. That's a little African thing. We don't want to talk about that right now. But that's not like saying hello. I want to thank everybody for coming. We had a larger crowd earlier. The crowd could have even been larger. But today, yesterday, and today, this weekend, African Americans are celebrating Juneteenth. That's the issue with Texas was 2.5 years later in telling people who were slaves that they were in fact emancipated. So a lot of people in a lot of different areas of the community are celebrating Juneteenth. Another thing I want to say about that is a little bit of sociology. We tried something. We knew the answer beforehand, we thought, but you know, you just got to do the science. I got that in quotes because I'm not a scientist, but I am a communicator. And we thought that we would make sure that we send the invitation and a special message out to all of the black churches in the Tri-County area, all of the black politicians, and some of the other politicians in the Tri-County area on the municipal, county, state, and federal levels. The answer that we thought we knew going in was that we have a peculiar relationship between those who are in leadership positions and the community that they ostensibly are supposedly leading. That relationship states that I, the elected official, or I, the appointed potentate, will keep my constituency for myself. That is my power base. And I'm not sharing that power base with anybody. Since we know that, and we've tried this experiment on many occasions to come up with the same answer, the question becomes, what do we do about this? How do we make comprehensive social change if we cannot change the people who are in a position to foster that change? That's the question before us, I think. That's fundamental in terms of the basis of community organization. I contend, therefore, then, that we cannot, in fact, have comprehensive social change until we deal with this anomaly. So we got to deal with that, okay? Put that out there. We got to deal with that. You cannot allow this to continue, and at the same time, you cannot have an adversarial or develop an adversarial relationship with it. It's like walking on glass. But we've got to solve that. If we do not solve that, we're not going to get anywhere, okay? So maybe in the churches, instead of going after the ministers, we have to find the key women, because women control the churches like they control the electorate. 77% of all the people elected, registered voters, are women. So we got to change our focus. All us guys especially, you know, we got to get matriarchal with this number. Okay? If we want to be successful, all right? Because in the marketplace, Madison Avenue also already knows that it's the 19 to 49-year-old women who are the purchasers of goods and services in America. Okay? For the most part. That's the market. Okay? That's part of the psychographics. Anybody know Madison? I come from New York City. I come off of Madison Avenue. I know all the tricks. That's what they do. Because they understand that. But in the marginalized communities, we don't focus on those psychographic realities. And we've got to learn to do that
if we want to make progress. So we got to deal with that. I just want to put that out there, okay? I think that's important to assess. The other thing I want to say is Dr. Voss and I have been working for some time, as I've been working with a lot of folks. With Jermaine, I just met through Audrey and Frank and through brother Carl on radio. Now this brother Carl, what Jermaine didn't tell you, woo, this brother Carl is working off of 6 stations, radio stations, out of Jupiter, Florida. He's got a 501c3 up there. You heard him say for $130 you can get on there. We got to deal with some fundraising activities because right now, I was on the air twice last week. All out of Bellblade and Hohoki and everything, they heard me. Brother, he heard me. I was on the air twice this past week. That station right now runs from Cocoa Beach to Lake Worth. Soon, that station's signal will be from Jacksonville, Florida to Miami Beach. African-American entity. We got to take advantage of that. That means that we're going to have to do a lot of fundraising. Because how you said, Jermaine, about on the air? Say that again, brother. Say that again.
But we got the ground troops. We need air cover. That's what wins the war.
You heard that? You heard? Say it again, brother.
We have the ground troops. Now we need the air cover. That's what wins the war.
Can I hear the church say amen? So Brother Carl is very instrumental, and already we're laying the groundwork to have environmental justice, conservation, and we the people, number 2 in Martin or St. Lucie County. Going to work our butt off to get it done. Then we're going to have number 3 in Florida City, so we can get Perrine and Gould, all of that. Richmond Heights. Come on, what's the name? Some others. Huh? All of that. Homestead. Yeah, we don't have Homestead. We got something going on Homestead right now. We'll talk about that. That's the NAACP thing. But the leader, let me show you how things go. The people who are leading that fight against the Confederate flag in parades using municipal and taxpayers' money to do it is Bishop Victor Curry, who happens to be the president of the Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP. When Frank and Audrey and I put together the Environmental Justice Committee of the NAACP back in '97, we decided to do an environmental justice conference. And Victor Curry, who then was the first vice president of the Miami-Dade NAACP, gave us his church to have the conference in. And he videotaped it, and I got it. And he has it. And he would have been here today if he were not involved in that situation down in Homestead right now. So you know, we're gathering the truth. And NAACP people, who we sent out a special a request for them to be here today, could not be here today. I think some of the membership should have been here, but the leadership is having a state conference in Orlando as we speak. So we missed a lot of people because of Juneteenth, because of this, that, and the other, so forth and so on. But you know, if it was just a handful of us, that's a handful more. Okay. I can remember when Frank and Audrey Peterman pulled my coat back in '97 when Frank was making a presentation at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. I think it was the last or next to the last meeting of the Charter Commission, the State Charter Commission, and he made an impassioned speech. And I was in the audience. And I ran out of there looking for them. And I caught Frank and Audrey at the garage.